everybody, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making meatballs. So I'm actually going to do a combination of meats when I use ground turkey and also ground beef. But first what I'm going to start to do is I'm going to saute my onions before I mix it all together with the meat. So I've already chopped about, it's about 3/4 cups of an onion. And I just took whatever onion I had left over in my fridge. And so now I'm going to take about 1/2 teaspoon of butter so I can saute this. And then I'm going to get working on my onions. So I'm sauteing my onions until they get a little kind of clear. So I'm just going to keep on mixing these around. And the difference between my meatballs and a lot of other meatballs out there is a lot of people use breadcrumbs in their meatballs, and I don't use any breadcrumbs, and I don't use any of those other types of sauces like Worcestershire sauce and ketchup or tomato sauce that may actually contain wheat and flour in it. So I'm going to give this a couple more minutes, and then we're going to put all of our ingredients together. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken a pound of hamburger and a pound of turkey, and my onions are clear. So we're going to throw this all in here together. We're actually going to end up reusing this pan to cook our meatballs in, or if you'd like to just kind of make them and leave it, you can actually bake them in the oven as well. And so I'm going to put in salt. So I am a total salt person, especially when it comes to meat. I'm doing garlic and ground pepper. And I love pepper on my meat too. So depending on like your likings when it comes to seasonings and stuff, you can actually add that stuff in there. So to help it bind, I'm gonna add 1 egg. So there's 1 egg. You can add other vegetables too, but this is what we're gonna start with. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get dirty. Well, I rephrase that. We are gonna get dirty, but we are gonna start our pan on medium. That way, as we're going, we can just put them straight in there, okay? So I'm gonna mix this all up. And the reason why I like it in my pan is because it's gonna get a little bit of that crunch and that little brown all the way around. So if you were gonna do this in the oven, a really good way is to put it in a muffin tins. So put a meatball in a muffin tin, but it doesn't get that nice brown all the way around. So you can see that, really mushing it up. And now I'm gonna start forming my balls. And bam. So I'm gonna keep on going. And I'm going to try to work fast since we do have that on over there. We want to try to get this completely full with the pan before we have to like start flipping any of them. But I love mixing turkey and beef together because it helps like calorie wise, and it also helps with flavor. I even make my chili this way. Put different types of meats. But you can always add other things. You can see my pan I'm filling up over here. See if I can squeeze a couple more in there. So when you do get a pan that you're gonna use for this, I suggest you get a pan that has a lid, because we are gonna have to cover these for a little bit, so that way it will start cooking the center, since they are pretty decent size. All right, this last one's gonna be a big one. All right, so we have all of our pan filled up, and we're gonna let them start cooking, and then we're gonna start. All right, so we have our meatballs here. We're gonna start checking on them. So what we're gonna do is start from basically the middle and the side from where we started. I mean, look at that. I love that golden brown right there. I'm gonna start flipping all these guys around. We don't want them to burn on one side. We're gonna do this to all of them, and then we're gonna let them get a little bit brown on that side, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna cover it so that way it starts working on the inside. Okay, so our meatballs have been cooking for about 20 minutes. You can see that they're nice and brown all the way around. Love it. I cut that one in half just to check the inside. You can actually do the same if you want to. Look at it so you can see that brown right there. That's where you can see obviously the beef and then the ground turkey. So they are done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put them in a nice bowl here. Look at those beauties. All right, so we're not gonna eat this plain. You can if you want to, but I'm gonna use some of my favorite marinara. It's San Marzano, so it doesn't have any sugar, any bad stuff in it. And I'm just gonna take my spoon in here and do a little dollop over them. And bam, you can actually add some shredded Parmesan cheese if you wanted to, or I'm probably gonna put on some avocado on it. So you have lots of different options that you can stick on there.